you for joining us tonight. We're going to give it a couple minutes for everybody to join. And while we're waiting, I want to introduce Jordan and Morgan. We are talking Walmart Marketplace tonight. There's a lot going on, and we are in the thick of Q4. You probably have a lot of sales happening. Hopefully not chaos, but it happens. I think I just saw on my account tonight that I'm not able to get payouts. So we love to see that in the thick of everything happening. Just making changes to your account. So, Morgan, why don't you introduce yourself?
I am Morgan, your favorite reseller on all social media platforms. A lot of you guys know me from Emily's community. Emily calls me the Walmart expert, the Walmart. I don't even know what she called me this time. But I have a lot of knowledge on Walmart and I am here to answer your questions.
She's going to be able to cover like account health issues if you were suspended. There's the popular 7-day suspension right now, but hopefully nothing crazier than that. We can talk about how to keep your account healthy, how to get ungated, and we also have Jordan from Flashpricer. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Founder and CEO of Flashpricer. We're a leading repricer in the Amazon and Walmart space. Got about 15 years of experience in building software and selling on both Amazon, Walmart, and beyond. Every which business model you can think of, and probably every suspension you've ever seen. So yeah, I've got a few things to say on a few of the topics that we're going to cover tonight. So yeah, if anybody has any questions towards the end, please let me know, and I'm always accessible to any of you guys. So Emily will probably share my contact information post call.
Yeah, for sure. And pricing issues. I was at the Walmart event this summer and I was able to talk to some of their like leadership and they were like, "What is your biggest complaint about the platform?" And mine was pricing suppression. So, if you have sold for any length of time, especially right now, if you are waking up and you're like, why can't I list at this price? My competitors are. It's just something that you're always dealing with. So I thought it'd be great to have Jordan here because he has so much experience with pricing on this platform. And there's not many other repricers, maybe any, who's doing it all that they're doing at a price point that's affordable for arbitrage. So he's definitely going to be sharing through the night about price suppressions, how to price. They just came out with yo-yo repricing, all sorts of good stuff that can be helpful for us right now. We are Flashpricer users. We got our shirts on. Yes, we love to. We never plan these things, so when we do, we're like, let's take the pictures, let's do it also. We're gonna wait for like 2 more minutes for people who want to get in. And while we're doing that, I would love to know if this is your first Q4 on Walmart. You can put a one in the chat if this is your first Q4. That is your first question of the night. And while you're doing that, I love group interaction. And if you could ask one question to a Walmart associate who works with the Walmart marketplace sellers, what would that question be? That's what I want to hear tonight. Like, what's at the top of your brain that you need help with? And I would love just to see what your experience is. If you've been a seller for a while or if you're brand new. Whereas I see some friends here. I see Tracy, a lot of friends from my community. Also, I didn't introduce myself. My name is Emily, the Crazy Flippin' Mom. I run the Crazy Flippin' Mom community, and I hopefully create good educational resources, stuff for you guys, and I also sell. So that was probably the worst pitch I've ever done of myself, but it can only go up from here. The first question I want to kick off with is like, what are the biggest triggers to getting suspended? I've seen tons of 7-day suspensions. I almost think those are just like automatically hitting people with no
Yeah.
rhyme or reason. Just like, we want to double check all your information and really F up your Q4. And so we're going to do it all at the same time. But what are some of the triggers that you're seeing? Uh,
There, like you said, I mean, there's literally so many. A lot of what they do is they label it trust and safety. And then that's like everything that is not falling under like the maybe
right.
like three other things. But really, if you have a lot of errors in your catalog, those need to be cleared out. That's what I've dealt with 3 suspensions with those. If as soon as you get an error cleared out, any IPs, you need to appeal those immediately and also retire those products from your catalog. That has been another one. Those are probably like the top two, but also honestly, people who are growing their account really fast, they haven't had the 7 day suspension, but they have been on payment suspensions or payment review is what they call it. That's been getting handed out pretty heavy the last like 2, 3 months, I would say. So yes, it's nice to get a lot of sales, but it also puts you under a microscope.
Definitely. And I think getting a lot of sales leads to just issues that if you were selling this much in March, you would see some of the same things pop up, but Walmart especially because I mean, they just let anybody sell on the platform, and they were actively trying to get sellers on the platform for so long, and their vetting was terrible that now they have to like double down on kicking off the people who are like stolen identities, as we've seen, and like selling fake. So we're kind of feeling the backlash of all of that. If you saw a YouTube video I made recently, I think Lorelai asked about trust and safety uh, some of the stuff falling into trust and safety for me are I made a video about this is women's underwear because the pictures, even though Walmart is selling it, it's not inappropriate. We all wear underwear, most likely, but they'll flag it for pictures. So I think that's kind of hilarious, but also just shows you that nobody's behind the wheel over here. Like there's just a lot of things falling along, the stuff is popping up that you have to deal with. And, but yes, I agree with Morgan. I think the first thing that you have to do is deal with all of the listings that are falling into error some way or another, because I think that's the biggest reason for trust and safety, or sorry, 7 day suspensions right now is like people have so many errors sitting in their catalog, which then we see can lead to not getting ungated. Let's talk about ungating, because that's definitely restricting people from getting pre-approved to sell health and beauty and toys. And Jordan, you can jump in here anytime. I know like you're the man for pricing and we're talking about some other stuff, but if I'm missing anything, let me know.
Yeah, just two things actually, while we're on those topics. So health and beauty, what I'm noticing is some people are being are have been successful in reinstating health and beauty category. Also, in the same vein, it's taking forever to get responses from like the support on Walmart these days. Meaning, like you might be fully within your right, to sell in the health and beauty catalog, and or just want to update something within your product listing, and just like in general, we're seeing a lot of cases just like sit open for it seems like almost months at this point in time.
Yes.
And I'm not sure what what the method is. Maybe Morgan can speak on that a little bit, but like um, just responding on top of the tickets and stuff like that has not really escalated anything or streamlined or fast tracked any of it. I don't know if it pushes it further down the queue, if it's better to just wait and see what happens, or if it's better to respond and try to escalate. That I would like to hear if Morgan had any sort of like perspective on that. Also, you said, yeah, people were gated to those categories and stuff like that, right? Like pros and cons to that, right? And it becoming more strict of a marketplace just in general, right? Like if you have the rights and you have the paperwork and you're doing things above board and you're buying from the places that they want you to be buying from, you'll be the first in line for sales when you get ungated and less competition. So like I always kind of like that. Just like as an optionality, right? Like some people will give up, some sellers will give up, like pretty easily and roll over, be like, well, I'm suspended this. I'm not allowed in this category. I'm not going to sell here anymore. And so, like the ones who don't do that and go the other route, which is a little bit harder, and actually do put in the work to get ungated in those categories or brands, etc.,
Right.
usually see the benefits of that. That's one. The second thing that I wanted to touch on was IP complaints and these sort of errors. And yeah, Morgan, like to the best of my knowledge, I've still seen people get 14-day suspensions, even if they address these I can't remember if it was IP complaints and or errors on their products, like, but they would get them and then they would immediately like delete them, archive them, whatever it may be. Maybe they weren't responding to the IP complaints, just deleting and archiving. And maybe there weren't even any sales on that product, but correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you still have to appeal them and or respond to those emails, even if you've never sold it before, even if you're going to archive and delete.
Yep.
um you know um yeah, I think the group should know, like, if they still have to respond to those, because like you could still get hit with a suspension even if you've deleted them, even if you've never had a sale. But I think the key is you have to respond. You have to give them all the information they're asking for, however you get it, right? Like, in order to avoid that suspension in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely. 1000% make sure that you're responding to the emails because some of them don't come through as a case. Some of them will come through as a direct email to you from Trust and Safety, and they will be requiring more information before they decide to, issue the IP or air the item out or whatever the case may be. So yeah, definitely 1000% make sure that you are replying to those things. But like Jordan said, even if your items are retired, even if they're deleted, I actually have seen people still get the suspensions on those items. And unfortunately, once you are part of a 7 day or a 14-day suspension, you literally can't do anything until that eighth day or that 15th day. Like you have to ride out the suspension before you can even
Submit.
respond to cases. Like literally, like your account is pretty much just shut down. Like you can't do anything. So that's the downside to it because as soon as it happens, I mean, you can open a case, but they're not even going to look at it. That's literally all you can do is open a case. But like I said, they're not going to look at it until that time you served your time. So if they're emailing you or if they're opening cases in regard to something, make sure that you are replying like immediately. Also, to go back to what Emily was asking about suspensions as well, make sure that your metrics are good. I have been working with a couple accounts, and I mean, it's like basic stuff, like people just not replying to messages. Like, stay on top of your metrics. There's scores. We talk about this all the time in Emily's community. They're wrong a lot of the time if you do seller fulfilled, your on-time delivery rate, your valid, what is it, VTR, OTD, and there's one more.
Tracking
Uh,
rate, on time delivery.
yeah, like I noticed, especially with the pickup and seller fulfilled, it'll say like I'll get emails every morning like, oh, you have to ship these, but under that it'll be like these orders need your attention. And then you go to it and they're like, oh, there's no origin scan or there's no this, there's no that. Open cases for those immediately, especially obviously if they're wrong. Like mine have been wrong every single day. So every single day, it's annoying, but I
Yeah.
need my metrics up so I am getting sales because one day I let that lapse and my sales dropped significantly. And granted, now I say that it may take them, 7 days to reply to you. It may take them X number of days to get a response. But what I did notice is that a lot of the time they're just scoring stuff. They're just not answering the cases. Why? I
Yeah.
don't know, but that's what's happening. So just stay on top of your metrics because that's another thing that's causing people to get suspended as well.
Great, great response to that. And I'm seeing a lot of questions or comments about no sales. I would definitely dive into not just the metrics, but like the backside. They keep adding updates to like tax information, payment information, and it says on there like you have a deadline to fill in those updates. And I'm not sure what's happening after that deadline, but I imagine they're like suppressing, it's not in Formax, but it's like similar type stuff. So I would go through everything from the front end of sales to the back end, but also people are Black Friday shopping and maybe you just don't offer any deals or anything that's like what people are shopping for right now as far as like toys. Usually Black Friday sales online boost sales overall, but that's just also something to consider. I know we're shopping on Amazon and Walmart right now, but we're on those deals, right? We're all looking for
Mhm.
like pajamas for $5. So you might just be seeing a dip because you have pretzels in your catalog, or I don't know. I'm trying to offer you something here. So next, let's talk about getting pre-approved. If you are newish to Walmart, this summer, really, probably they rolled out quickly this vetting process for sellers. No matter how long you've been selling, you have to get pre-approved to sell in health and beauty, in pet ingestibles, toys, like several things. They also rolled out CPC. So there's several things that you're probably getting hit with, especially if you step back from Walmart and you're coming back and you're like, why can't I sell these Christmas dog treats I've sold every year? And this process has also been being updated. So if you started it maybe a couple months ago and then you're coming back to it, it looks a little bit different. So, Morgan, can you tell us what you know about getting pre-approved right now successfully? I could tell you how to do it unsuccessfully, but
Yeah, so actually, while we were at the Walmart event, I was talking to one of the reps, and I can't remember the number that she gave me, but I want to say that she said there was like, I want to say it was 80,000 open support tickets in regard to the restricted categories, and they don't have enough bandwidth to get to all of them. So they started pulling employees from different areas of the company to answer the questions. So if you don't have a rep, like I have a few reps on hand that have been helpful with this, but if you don't have a rep, um, it's kind of the luck of the draw of who you get to look over
really.
your documents, which is like asinine. But yeah, there's a two-part vetting process for specifically the restricted categories, which we're looking at health and beauty and personal care, pet, dietary supplements, medical devices, and there's one more that I'm missing. But it's a two-part ungating process. So the first part, you will go through and submit an application answering like 6 or 7 questions. Answer them honestly because they will ask for proof. So don't say that you're in the brand portal if you're not in the brand portal and all those things. Then once you get past that, I have noticed recently that the second part they've been answering pretty quickly now. So if any of you guys opened a case back in August, September, even October, and you still haven't heard back, honestly, I would go ahead and do a new application because, like Emily said, it's actually different now. So the second part of the process, they ask for different things. At first, what they were doing is they were taking 5 items from your catalog that were within said category and requiring that you provide either sales for the category or the item, FDA information, invoices, and I think those are the main three. But now I've noticed a lot of the categories that I've been doing for people, they're not even asking for specific 5 items. They're just saying any 5 items in your catalog. So they're literally giving you the power to choose which items, which is nice because not everybody has invoices for stuff. Oh, and they're asking for pictures of all sides of the item. That was the other thing. And about your warehouse, if it's the temperature and where it's located and all of those things.
Well,
So
and last time I went through it, it was three specific items. So I feel like it's changes so
it's changing. But also the other side of it too is if you don't have 5 items in your catalog, then they will do that. They'll do 3, or they'll even do like one, or they're kind of all over the place if I'm being honest with you. And I've had some people where initially maybe about 2 months ago I had a lot of people where they were doing the 5 items, and then I had other people where they're just give us whatever 5 you want. So the ones that I'm working on currently as of like last week, none of them have required specific item IDs.
Oh, that's nice.
So yeah, it's nice because like I said, not everybody has invoices for specific items. Some people have receipts, and they seem to be harsher about accepting receipts than invoices. That's hit or miss on who you get as well. So if you don't have invoices, you might be playing this round and round game with them if you only have receipts. And also, they're not asking for the FDA information anymore. Like they were asking for
Oh,
beauty,
nice.
this I forget what it's called, but they were asking for the specific information from the
Like
FDA.
testing?
Yeah, the testing. Yeah, they're not asking for it anymore. They are asking for it if you're doing like medical devices, which obviously makes sense. But yeah, for that and for supplements, they're not asking for it anymore.
I
So
think this
that's
is really
updated.
interesting. And I was talking to somebody at Walmart last week and they were like, we regret. Now, of course, they're adjacent, right? It's not freaking Bill or whatever that CEO name is. What do I keep calling this guy?
I
But
put John, I think, or something like that.
John. I call everybody who's white pretty much John or I don't know. Anyways, they were like, we regret ever doing this. We should have rolled it out differently in January. So I really do wonder in January what this will all look like too, because there's always different gatings I roll out for Q4. Especially around toys anyways. So that probably would have happened, but the whole process in general just seems like a mess. So if you submit all your documents, how quickly are they responding to you?
Uh, loaded question. Between 1 day and 3 months.
Yeah,
Again,
exactly.
it really depends. I have a rep who kind of like pushes some stuff through. And so for me, I've seen like 1 day to like 2 weeks, but it really depends. Also keep in mind a lot of people are getting denied off the bat from that step one if you have unaddressed IPs in your account. They will literally say like we are not accepting you because you have IPs on your account, and we work with, what did they say? We want seller trust or something like that, and you have IPs and da 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 da.
Yeah.
So again, make sure you're addressing those IPs. You can leave them and maybe be fine, but just be safe and address them all. And you guys can find that in your if you go to the settings gear on the left-hand side, there's a tab. Now they call it I think it's health and compliance is what they changed it to. It used to be account hub. And that is where you can see it'll let you know what items need to be addressed under the compliant tab. And it'll actually give you your metrics there in another place.
But I think the overall issue with this is a lot of it is glitchy. Like last week, trust and
Yes.
safety was missing from the platform. We were
Yeah.
getting, I got trust and safety, and I was like, where is this at? It was just gone. So they're
Yeah.
definitely updating things. And I think I'm following the questions. I feel like a lot of the things that you're dealing with are glitches, honestly, because they update the platform, things fall off. I will get emails for other sellers. It'll be like,
Yeah.
"Hi Brian, we see you tried to ungate. Here's your information." And I'm like, "This is crazy. This is like
I
a
just sent
HIPAA
you one.
violation."
Yeah, right. I just sent you one. And the mess up part is it has like the person's name and their company name. Like,
Yeah,
just give
it's
it.
pretty
I'm like,
detailed. It's pretty detailed. So
this feels illegal.
this does feel legal. So the other big topic I want to talk about is pricing. I am seeing a lot of issues with sellers trying to price and it's not visible. That's a big issue. I will say one of the other big issues I have is that the platform, Walmart Marketplace, is down so often, I can't update my price. And I don't know if this has happened to you, but I'll be in a store, I'll list something and I'll list a couple to see if it will sell, and I'll get home and be like, "Oh, I didn't list it at the right price." And the catalog is literally glitching out. So I hate fixing my prices, anything, because it's just so time consuming. So Jordan, I know this is your field. What do you have for us? What's like your take on these price suppressions, um, hacks? I'd love to hear it all.
Yeah, so a lot of hacks. We could start with hacks. So getting pricing through to Walmart sometimes is an issue. We have a few, a few clients every few days who like the clarity thing is a big thing on Walmart, right? Like you were saying, sometimes it's just like we call it Walmart magic at Flashpricer or whatever, something just like doesn't make sense, like actually technically. makes sense when we're trying to work with APIs and like sending and receiving of like how many you have in inventory and anything else. We're like, oh, well, I mean, they're just telling us that, but it's not true, right? So like a lot of times we try to work around it. With regards to price, a lot of the issues and like client requests that we're seeing are like, well, why aren't you repricing our items to XYZ? And we're like, well, we tried to push a price and we've been pushing that price like 100 times now and nothing's happening. And like so the transparency within Walmart seller.walmart.com, like the seller center, is not very clear, right? Like sometimes you might want to put, get involved in some of these like additional price things, right? Like on the left-hand side menu, there's a price option, and there's like incentives, and so there's a few different types of incentives. So like if you get to a certain price, then you get a decreased referral
Right.
fee, or if you get to a certain price, you'll get automatically enrolled in Walmart funded savings, or you could put a coupon or discount on it, or whatever it is. And they make it really easy for you to implement these things within Seller Center, but then you forget that we can't override them from Flashpricer, and or that you even put yourself and enrolled yourself in it. And then so like you're like, why am I at this price? And why isn't Flashpricer changing me to that price based on our strategy setting? So like we're seeing a lot of stuff like that where we just have to diagnose it, and like we'll push one-time pushes from the application just like arbitrarily in real time, because like that happens really quickly out of our system, just to see what like if we can even get a price change through. A lot of times it happens to be like you're in Walmart funded savings,
Mm.
and or some other type of incentive at that moment in time, which is cool and great. So like that brings me right into like the hacks. So like the same thing that's horrible is also like a hack, right? Walmart funded savings is a real hack. Um, and if used correctly, and it's like fairly easy to identify these listings within Flashpricer itself, or you can go within Seller Center, which we obviously hate to do, but you could do it. You could see which items are enrolled in Seller Center in Walmart funded savings at a given point in time, and then you can mess with the pricing within Flashpricer. We're actually working on a piece of functionality that, like, when we realize that you're enrolled in Walmart funded savings, that we automatically try to raise the price up to the highest price that you could possibly have it at before losing Walmart funded savings. And for
Mm,
those of you
that's
who don't know
cool.
what Walmart funded savings is, it's basically an incentive program that Walmart is arbitrarily giving to their clients. Yeah, it's free money. Thanks, Tracy. It is free money. Basically, like instead of pouring money into marketing in other ways, which they're also doing to bring clients to their site, they want to give the buyers the best possible price on an item across the web. And sometimes, if their third party sellers can't get to the same price as you might see on Amazon or Target or Best Buy or something else, right, they'll get you to that price. Meaning, if they can reduce their fee, or sometimes it's more than the fee in total, right? Like I've seen Walmart funded savings like 30, 40, $50 on a product, so like a higher ticket product. Effectively, they'll decrease the price to the end user, to the buyer by that amount of money, but still pay you out on the number that you've pushed to them. And so when I say the number that you've pushed to them, that's the number that Flashpricer is pushing to them. So if we continuously ratchet up that price, they'll still display that lower price to the end client up until a certain number. Eventually, you'll lose it and you'll fall out of it. But there's literally a penny in between you having it and you not having it. And if it's you and two other sellers on the listing, you'll all be at the same price. You'll all make sales at that price. The difference is what you get paid out on versus what your competitor is getting paid out on that same item. And so the spread might be $5 for a competitor of yours, and it might be $25 for you if it's done the right way. And that's like maybe an exaggerated like view on it. Again, I'm like talking about like a more expensive like high ticket item, but still like even on lower ticket items, you could sometimes see a spread of like $4 or $5 in profit per sale on the item. Just by maximizing the Walmart funded savings program. I don't know how long that's going to last, but we're hoping it lasts a long time.
Yeah, they
Um,
have some really good incentives right now. They're always tied to something else. But I mean, if it makes sense for you, and I feel like that's why if you have a bigger catalog, I don't know what you guys' catalogs. I sell a lot of clearance, so I tend to be on the bigger side of what I used to do, like say on Amazon. I could not do it without a repricer because there's just so many things I can't keep track of. So having something just rolling and I know it's following my numbers is like I think the biggest hack. Most, especially small sellers, we want to pinch every penny. But I find that my $50 a month investment comes back so much more to me over and over that it just makes sense. Sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
no, no, thanks for the the sidebar because yeah, it's important. I mean, I'm not here to sell, but even smaller sellers are just getting started. Like you said, we have the $50 plan, right? Like any hour spent doing anything besides for manually adjusting your pricing against competitors to get you even one more sale a day is worth $50, maybe even two or three or four times. And so it really allows you to grow. The other thing we were talking about was like price suppressions, and or like yeah, I think we're calling them. I guess they're price suppressions, but they come up as like unpublished or whatever it is because reasonable price unsatisfied or something like that. You could see
Yeah.
those items very clearly within Flashpricer. Again, like sometimes we get flagged that item has been suppressed and it's not actually suppressed. Thank you, Walmart Magic. So we'll display those as suppressed within the system. We don't hide them. We do display them on a filter though. So you may still be able to click through. We still may be repricing them. Just we've gotten a notification that Walmart says it's suppressed. Again, we double check that, but whatever, easier to sort of like see which items have been suppressed for price with just like a simple filter outside of Seller Center. Additional to that, a lot of times these things are getting suppressed for the right reason and maybe the wrong reason. So the right reason would be if they found the right product off on another site. Usually it's Amazon that they're comparing to. We do have an additional column in Flashpricer that we added maybe 8 months ago or so, which will pull in the external price that they're mapping it to. At least you have a reference point to see if you are actually like unreasonably priced as compared to the market. So not really too much to do there, besides for lower your price, liquidate, and then start with something new, and or get it back at a better price. The things where you do have some leeway is where when you get a wide angle view of like what prices they're comparing to directly within the software, you can link out to it, right? So you click that link, and then they're comparing it to the incorrect item on a different channel. That's a case in a second. All right. So you open a case with seller support, and you tell them this is a UPC mismatch. This is not the actual product. This is a variation of the
Right.
listing, etc. And then you'll get a response back that says, "Okay, cool. We unlinked it," or something like that. Then you'll be free to sell it whatever the market price is, right? Another thing is within the software you can also manage both Amazon and Walmart accounts within Flashpricer. And so typically, if you're within like a similar range on both platforms, you won't be suppressed for price suppression for that matter. It is within a few percentage points in either direction, but I mean that's only reasonable. Like Amazon's going to ask you for the same thing, so like in either direction. But if your min and max thresholds in both channels are similar and within reasonable sort of boundaries, you'll see a lot less price suppressions. Um, One
Right.
last
So what
thing
he's
that I
saying
want to
is
touch
he
on.
can. he's saying right there you can cannibalize your Walmart listings if you run deals on Amazon. That's a one issue. And right now, if you are getting suppressed, it could be because there's Black Friday deals going on Amazon. So all of a sudden you were selling, I hate to say it, Bluey toys on Walmart for $15 all day, and then now they're $5 on Amazon Black Friday. You're now suppressed. And you basically have to wait it out. So that would be like a scenario there.
Yeah, so don't worry though, like they automatically unsuppress, like we push prices to try to get you back into unsuppressed statuses and stuff like that, as long as you're like matching market on Walmart. Should be coming back as soon as like the other party comes off.
Hmm.
On the Amazon side, finally, like something that's really important with regards to price on the Walmart side, um, is like overall competitive price score, and stuff like that, right? So like how competitive you are like across your entire catalog, and that includes, which most people may not know, some of the more experienced people definitely do know, um, is that it includes out of stock listings. So like if you're not on top of your catalog all day, and you sold something at X price and markets fluctuate. We know that. I mean, like I at least know that. And anybody who's doing any repricing knows that like markets fluctuate very quickly on each and every individual listing. Um, like if you're not on top of repricing your items, let alone your out of stock items, because you didn't know that you needed to do that, that will affect your overall competitiveness score. And the lower competitiveness score can lose you like Prime's pro seller badges, and obviously like Morgan said before, like any one of the health metrics and or things that you can keep solid gives you a boost in sales. So like just think of it as like little notches, like on time delivery, notch up, you'll get more sales even at higher prices. Uh, f- quick shipping rates, good reviews and metrics, like everything notches you up one more price competitiveness score, even better pro seller badge once you've reached it, more sales, it all adds up. We do have functionality that will reprice both your in-stock listings and your out-of-stock listings in order to keep you updated within the market. And that's really helped our sellers stay within I think it's like 80+% competitiveness score that you're like is the target for Pro Seller Badge.
Hmm.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
noticed mine go up since I enrolled in Flashpricer too, and like maintain it as well because I had an issue with I could get it up and then it would just drop right back down.
yeah.
Interesting.
And
Cool.
I want to save a couple minutes here at the end just to take questions. You guys have posted a lot in the chat. I want to make sure we have time to go through everything. But I'll also post contact information for Jordan and Morgan so you can one get a free trial of Flashpricer and test it out for yourself. And also, if you I saw somebody say a Walmart whisperer, that would be Morgan. If you want a Walmart screamer, that would be me. Walmart cusser. I don't know. I would be your girl for that. um, but what was the other thing we were saying there? And I kind of got off track. But yeah,
Wait.
Morgan, anything on I have found with suppressions, did you guys notice that when you go to list something, it will even give you comparison prices on eBay, which is hilarious.
Yes.
Like, why are we comparing prices to eBay now? This is out of
Yeah.
control. I tend to have to open a lot of cases for these though, because it
I
is
don't
bloating.
know. I don't know. Like I've been off the eBay train for 10 years, and like now I'm like I'm feeling something, and I normally have pretty good intuition. I don't know. Maybe eBay's having like a bit of a comeback. With like the live shopping and stuff like that. I just like see
Yeah,
certain sellers that I'm following like tapping into it. I'm not saying like I don't know if it's the next channel that we support on Flash, but like I feel like sales are happening there. Like and
yeah.
they're starting to uptick. They might be making a comeback. Don't count them out yet.
It's
Yeah.
definitely having a comeback. People want sustainable, they would rather buy from small sellers, small businesses, people who are alive. 100% it's coming back. And there's a guy here in the chat talking about selling collectibles. I'm sure he's on eBay too, because Walmart is pushing for that collectible seller on the marketplace
Mhm.
as well, which I find really jarring to like their normal messaging. Like you freaking want invoices and pricing to be correct, and then you want collectibles. It's just kind of interesting because you know that's like such a clash in what they talk about. But Morgan, what is your go-to for price suppressions or any suppressions?
First I want to say something. For the love of God, if this is you, please stop putting your item at 199 and then adding 999 shipping. Please, 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 because it's tanking the crap out of listings because Walmart is not including that shipping price. So anybody who is not within like a 3 to 5% range of 199 is automatically getting kicked off of listings. And it is the biggest pain. That's like all of my unpublished right now are because people came on seller fulfilled and they're selling between like 199 to 499 plus shipping. Like if you have to do that to get your item to publish, great, fine. But like make sure that that's the case because there's a lot of items that are selling high at like 15, 20, 30, $40 and now they're selling for like $10 because people are pricing that way. And that is all I have to say about my
Well,
support.
agree.
I
There
thought
has
they came
been,
down hard on that,
They
yeah,
like
they
at
did,
one
and now
point.
people are back. They did.
Yeah,
The
they'll be
they're
last like
gone.
calling it
couple weeks, I've seen
egregious
that.
shipping, but then they don't tell you what they consider egregious. But
Yeah. And they just rolled out a policy literally like I think it was like 3 weeks ago where they were saying again basically about the egregious shipping like you will get suspended for it but that's all I've been seeing on the platform the last couple weeks is people doing that every time I'm like selling an item super well and then I go unpublished sure enough I go and look at the listing and it's
okay,
because somebody did that.
you needed to get that off your chest.
I did because I was just looking. I just got a notification from the Walmart app that my item went unpublished, and it was because of that. I was like, oh. But anyway,
Aw.
um,
Oh, we have a guest. We have a special guest. We love little kids. Special guests on here. It always happens. Between me and Morgan, we have a full football team, so it typically
yes,
happens.
my husband took all the kids right now, so it's great. But
Nice.
it's just well, we have the dog,
you,
which I don't know
you
if
might as well come say hi. Here you go.
Hi.
Okay,
Starting the
great. Now go
show.
get yelled at by your mom.
While Morgan kind of unloads more on people who tank prices, you guys have 10-15 minutes. Let's hear any question in the chat that we might have missed. Anything that you want some more information about. I am going through the questions now, but I would love to hear anything and we'll just grab all your questions and answer them now. Oh my God, Tracy, I know. Full circle moment on
Speaking
eBay.
about eBay, like it's always been kind of that platform where I just like dumped everything that like didn't really sell or whatever on. And literally last week, I was at a store and I was like, I feel like this would do well on eBay. And I like looked it up and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go all in on this. And I brought 50 of them and I'm selling the crap out of it on eBay. And I was like, wow, I never really
Nice.
took eBay seriously, but now maybe I should start.
Yeah, love
Yeah,
it.
is like I guess like receipts and invoices like whatever doesn't really matter on eBay, right?
No.
It's
I mean,
like
you have to be
it
it has
doesn't,
to be
but
authentic, right?
yeah,
Like if it
yeah,
ever comes up, then like you might have to. I mean, but like a
Yeah,
lot of eBay is like just stuff around, like how it
right.
started was like stuff around your house, just like throw it up, right? And see if you can
yeah.
sell it.
We've
Like,
had a couple people like get into issues. They're big shoe sellers. I think they are into some shady stuff, and then they're always on their content. Like, I don't know how this happened, really. You know.
Yeah,
But
they
no, you
they
don't.
do have like a policy where they do say that you need like invoices and receipts, obviously, if it comes into question. And I have seen on Reddit that there are some people who are just getting like just shut down for like velocity or suspended or what same issues that you see on all the other platforms. So it definitely has its own headaches, I think, if you decide to go all in on it, but it's definitely it's, hey, don't keep all your eggs in one basket. It's definitely an option.
Okay, but this isn't the eBay conversation, so back on track.
Yeah, no, no,
But
we all got nostalgic about eBay
yeah,
for a
we
second.
did. We really
I saw
did.
somebody.
My eBay's on vacation. I need to go resurrect it after this. Tracy has a question, Jordan or Morgan, about pricing. The price will not stick. Oh, this is what I was gonna say is the last time Walmart, the seller center was really glitchy. I just started updating all of my prices and making changes in the Flashpricer website or browser, whatever it is. And those went through. It was pushing it over quickly. But I was running into this issue in Seller Center too. It was on prices. And
Yeah.
I don't know, Jordan, do you have anything?
Um, this is another so he tried okay, so he tried pushing price through our system. He tried pushing price through Walmart Seller Center as well.
Have you had this? I've had this happen too. I'll list it and I know I didn't list it at like 5.99. It's listing at the Walmart catalog
Yeah.
price. This is something
Are
that
you sure
happens.
there's no incentives in place? Like a lot of times people forget that they put them there. Like, um, does it ever see the price that you push? Or does it go just never that never shows up live on Walmart.com?
Tracy, I actually think it's a glitch that's going on right now because I just did a shipment on Wednesday, and everything that I was adding to my catalog, like the price that I was putting in, a few minutes later, once it published to my catalog, it was significantly lower than what I put it at. And I had to go back and I was like manually changing all of them. And then some of them stuck, some of them went back. And so then I did what Emily was saying. Like I had to go into Flashpricer and change the price, and then it stuck. Granted, it hasn't been received yet, obviously, because that was Wednesday. So I don't know. I'm kind of keeping an eye on it to make sure the prices stay. But yeah, I have an item
Yeah,
like that right
Tracy,
now.
we're happy to look into it. Um, yeah, if you're saying it went through and then it reverts to a low price, then something's going on. I mean, maybe the client has some sort of other piece of software in place that they forgot they implemented, or yeah, we could look through every change history that we push through our software, of course, but we won't be able to see like if the other price that you're seeing live on Walmart or it's getting reverted to is we've never pushed, then it's coming from an external source, and or it's a glitch that Morgan's talking about. But I don't know anything about those glitches. I don't put it past Walmart. I mean, like,
Yeah.
there's, like it's totally anything's possible. Walmart magic. But like, usually what we've seen is like somebody had like an inventory management tool in place, or another repricer, or the Walmart internal repricer, or price changes coming from somewhere, right? And if all those things have been checked and still nothing, then yeah, it's a ticket for sure. They'll be able to know where it's coming from.
I
I
would love to
noticed.
know here. Sorry, just one thing. Post in the chat, maybe drop like a one if you have had Walmart update your prices. You know you didn't list it lower than it is listed at or sold at. Because this is something that consistently happens to me. And the first couple times you're like, am I losing it?
Uh,
What's happening? And then
you
you're
got a
Yes.
like,
one.
oh, this is
You got two.
actually
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
this is I know it's more, guys. Post if this is
Yes.
happening to you because you're not crazy. Sorry, go ahead, Morgan.
No, on Wednesday, that shipment that I did, it was pretty big. So then I was like, okay, well, maybe I'm just like, I accidentally put in like the Walmart price and didn't even realize it. And then I specifically started paying attention and I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. But what I was going to say is I noticed that whenever Walmart makes changes on one thing, like something that could be on a completely other end that shouldn't be affected will be affected. So, like for example, I think that they're making a lot of changes. Well, not I think, I know they're making a lot of changes to what once was the account hub. Now it changed to health and compliance. Now the view of how it looks changes like every few days. and then everything else glitches. The catalog glitches. If you go to your analytics in your reports, so they would run every day an item report, a buy box report, like every couple hours. Now you can't even see it. And then if you try to run an item report, it's like, hey, this item report was just ran for you an hour ago, but you can't actually see it. And I've had a case open for that for I don't even know how long, and nobody's replying to that. So like it's just as you say, Walmart magic.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it.
Makes you want to bang your head against a wall sometimes, but we get through
I
it.
I think my best tip, this is costly, so it's really just best for people who are interested to stick around and they don't have a plan B, would be to go to any event Walmart is at. It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be the Walmart seller event. They attend, like Jordan was saying, they're attending a lot of events. They're going to be probably at Prosper, March, Vegas.
Definitely not Prosper.
So if you can talk one-on-one, you can have same day changes to your catalog. Like
Mhm.
they'll get into your account and help you. That's been insanely helpful. I don't want to go to support another Walmart seller event like the one that they host, but I probably would go to talk to their marketplace
There's-
team
Yeah.
because that was so helpful. So if you can get to anything like that, if you need an account rep, that's where you want to be, and you could get something set up same day. Before we let you guys go, feel free to drop any last minute questions. I want to make sure that you get a hold of Morgan and Jordan. If you guys can post your links in the chat, anything that if you guys have questions after this, something you missed, you can reach out to them. And maybe Jordan can help you if you have pricing issues like Tracy's talking about, things like that you need some extra help with.
Also, whenever you're in your seller center and there'll be polls that'll pop up or they'll ask for your opinion on something, fill that out because one, you'll be surprised at how many people don't fill it out. They were harping about that at this seller summit. But two, that's actually how I've gotten connected to all of my reps is just by giving them feedback and then they reach out to me and then we have one-on-one conversations and then they go to group conversations and so on and so forth. So that's how I made my connects. I literally there's one guy that he's the item catalog manager and I literally will reach out to him maybe once every couple of months just to keep our relationship fresh. And so many times I'm like, "Hey, this rep stopped replying to me. Who else can I talk to about this?" And he'll be like, "Oh, here you go." Like that's how you make connections is with networking. So make sure that you are actively giving them feedback. Yes, it takes time. Yes, it's super annoying, but it's helpful.
I agree. Jordan, you got a link for us? Oh, wait, did I
You
glitch?
just froze. No.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
back. Um, Morgan, here was one question. Oh, I froze. I'm back.
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah, you're back. Oh, maybe not.
You're back. I see you.
Ish. Okay. I'm working on getting a link for you right now.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
At the same time, Morgan, somebody was just asking how you like what the first part, like what the first step is, like where in seller.walmart do you go to get unrestricted for that category, like category
Yeah.
gating?
So on your homepage in Seller Center, there's a banner right at the top, and it says Walmart is restricting certain health and wellness, beauty, personal care, food, supplements, da 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 da. And then it says you can request approval. Click here, click that, and that'll take you to the application process.
Got you. Awesome. My link is in. That'll
Awesome.
connect you directly with our customer success team.
And if you like to talk about Walmart or Amazon, we meet Mondays and Fridays in the Crazy Flip a Mom community every week. Sometimes more than two calls, actually three
Yeah.
or four calls a week. So if you like to deep dive into these problems and trauma dump, that is the place to find us every week. You can find people like Jordan popping in and helping us set up Flashpricer. Morgan is talking about is probably a spreadsheet or something boring, similarly boring.
Something boring.
But can save you a lot of money, so it's good. I'm not gonna say it's not good. Andrew, I see your question. We'll send out the recording after this. We went through ungating and the new steps and requirements, so you'll be able to grab that recording. But yeah, thank you guys for being here. Make sure you grab these links. We'll send it out so you have them again. You can play this back, but we appreciate you joining. Thank you, Jordan and Morgan, for taking the time. Oh, go ahead. Do you have something
Thanks.
to add?
Yeah, I think if anybody's interested in checking out Flashpricer, of course we're looking forward to having you on board. We think we could help you sell more, better, faster, and I could explain in more detail like how on a different call with Emily. But Emily also has like discount codes. Emily Morgan, I think a few other people on this call might also have some discount codes for you. Yeah, we'd love to see more sellers on and help them sell more. So Amazon, Walmart alike, yeah, we've got what you need. So please reach out to Emily directly. Thanks for hosting this call. I learned some stuff for sure.
Yeah. Well, I
Morgan,
think what we all learned is
great
doing
being here.
anything in Walmart Seller Center is like the last option. So anytime you have a tool like Flashpricer and you can update prices there, you're going to be better off.
Yeah,
Uh,
the third-party tools are pretty good, like not just Flashbuster specific, right? Just like but same goes with Amazon, right? Like there's a reason why these third-party tools are even exist, right? Like there's just so much more and you can do outside of the actual platform. Those
right.
platforms aren't built for like working in them every day. They're sort of an afterthought to all the APIs that go in and out of them. And then even when you talk about Walmart, like their APIs are an afterthought to like
Oh,
anything
yeah.
that they're doing anyway.
Yeah. I think that's if there's anything we know is like it's all a little bit of an afterthought, or they're just totally unprepared.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll do another call like this if you just want to jump in and see what's happening on Walmart, how to stay on top of changes, what's next for sellers. This is a busy time for everybody. Morgan has a date with her husband soon, so we have to let people go, but I appreciate you all taking the time to be here. We're gonna do this again. And yeah, reach out to any of us and I can connect you to Jordan or whatever you need. I got you covered. Until next time, be safe, guys. We'll talk soon.